Are you getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep at night? No? Many of us are not. Join me this week as we take a look at how important 8 to 10 hours of sleep can be and why there's no shame in the sleep game. Hi, I'm Adrienne Irizarry. I'm an East Asian medicine practitioner who is passionate about women's health and helping women to live their best lives. My goal is to put you in the driver's seat of your health, offering holistic solutions for a symptom-free life. Statements made in this program are for educational purposes only and not intended as a substitution for medical consultation or advice. We do not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases. This podcast is inclusive and welcomes all gender identities. The focus of the program is on biological function, and we will use the term women throughout, but it is referencing physiological and social challenges for biology, not identity. Come as you are, I am happy you're here and welcome all performances of identity. I hope you find something helpful in this show. Welcome back to another episode of the Reproductive Rebel podcast. Today's topic is sleep. Yes, one of my favorite subjects, and probably one for you as well. So, sleep plays an incredibly important role in women's health. And unfortunately, it's something that we feel a lot of shame and guilt around. So, let's talk about the way that our hormones function. Okay, so our male counterparts receive a steady burst of testosterone all throughout the day. So they go to bed feeling one way and they wake up feeling that same way. They don't encounter the same kinds of changes and transitions and ever changing flow of hormones the way that we do. So, because of that, they can get by on a lot less sleep. So, when you see like studies and experts quoting that you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that's for a male body, a male hormoned body. Female hormone bodies, however, need a very different amount of sleep, and there are reasons for that. So, for men get like 97% of their sex hormones from their testes and the remainder from their adrenal glands. So they can handle a significantly higher amount of stress on their system before it starts creating problems. They can handle a lot more sleep deprivation. They can handle a lot more situational life stress before they start having physical symptoms. Women, however, depending on what literature you look at, some say that it's like a 60-40 split, meaning 60% comes from our ovaries and 40% comes from our adrenals. I've seen some that quote 70% come from our ovaries and 30% comes from our adrenals. But either way, you can see that it is a significantly higher number of our hormones are driven by our adrenals, which are sensitive to stress. So, what does that mean? That means that we need more restorative sleep in order for our hormone profile to function appropriately. Why does this get difficult? Well, think about it. Who gets up with the kids at night, right? Even if you both work a full-time job and one of you isn't the designated stay-at-home, right? And even if you are working more than a full-time job as a stay-at-home, I see you. So who typically gets up with the kids at night? Generally, and I'm not saying this is the case for all, because there are some very involved male partners, but in general, it is the female partner that is getting up with kids at night. And in certain parts of our life, we float to the surface of our sleep. That can be an entire episode in and of itself. But when we are more blood deficient, according to Chinese medicine. We have less to anchor us down into sleep. So we're not getting that same deep restorative sleep as our male counterparts do. So not only are we woken up by every little sound because we're more at the surface of our sleep, we also tend to be the one responding to all of the crises in the middle of the night. So because we don't get a consistent amount of sleep through the entire night, that broken sleep does add up over time. So women need 8 to 10 hours every night in order to be able to effectively manage their hormone reserves. 8 to 10 hours. That is significantly different than what most studies say because those studies are based on male bodies. There's more literature that is finally starting to come out about how much sleep women need, and I think that's great. However, it doesn't seem to shake that narrative that is out there that we're lazy if we sleep, or that we're being princesses or divas or high maintenance. I hate that word, high maintenance. What is high maintenance? I know plenty of men that are high maintenance, right? Like, what is high maintenance, right? But we get labeled these things when we advocate for more sleep. So then we feel shame around going to bed early or sleeping in the morning. And the reality of it is our bodies need it to function well. So if we're not getting the sleep, our sex hormones aren't performing at their best, and then people are mystified as to why they have no libido. And then their male counterpart gets frustrated because their female partner doesn't have any libido. Well, yeah, if you don't let my hormones do what they're supposed to do, I'm not really interested, dude. Because part of the reason our interest rises is because there's a balance of things and the body's going, oh, it would be good to get pregnant. We could get pregnant, whether that is your social goal or not. This is what your hormones are doing. So if the body perceives stress, your primal brain can only handle two things: survive or procreate. Survive will always win. Sleep deprivation triggers a stress response in your system. So, yes, it's hard to get into the mood when you don't have enough sleep. And it's not just because lack of sleep makes you feel cranky, it's because it affects the way your hormones perform. You need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. I'm going to keep saying that all through this episode because I'm hoping that that is going to be a message. And if you need to play this episode for your male counterpart, you absolutely do that, because you cannot have your hormones perform appropriately if you are not getting restorative sleep. And it has to do with the division of where your hormones are coming from. Women are the ones that tend to experience adrenal fatigue. It's because we have so many stressors that are hitting our system for a system hormonally that isn't designed to handle crisis after crisis after crisis after crisis. Can we do it? Yes, but it's only sustainable for a short period of time because it's essentially enough time to get you away from the tiger. Once you're not physically threatened anymore, okay, so we're thinking hunter-gatherer here. Once you're not physically threatened anymore, you should be able to come back to rest and digest, but a lot of us are stuck in that chronic on or sympathetic response in our body.
And now we take a break from our program for a special message. Beloved one, the time of activation has arrived. The ancient ways are calling, and the portal to sacred healing is open. If you've been feeling the pull to deepen your wisdom in holistic women's health, let me tell you about Rebel Rising, the 2.0 evolution of our practitioner training program. The Rebel Rising program is a sacred container for those ready to reclaim the lost arts of feminine healing. This year, we are offering two powerful paths of study: pelvic steaming, a deep remembrance of womb healing and energetic clearing, and sound healing, where vibrational medicine meets embodied restoration. If you feel the resonance, trust it. Classes begin March 26th, and an exclusive tuition discount is available through February 28th. The portal won't stay open forever. Enrollment closes March 24th. If you are ready to rise, visit moonessence.life to claim your space. The time is now. And now, back to the show.
And it has to do with the fact we got too much coming over the bow, and now we're doing it all with sleep deprivation. Our quality of sleep is suffering, the number of hours of sleep are suffering. All the while, we're telling ourselves that we're not doing enough, we're not enough. We feel guilt and shame over sitting still. These are things we need to reprogram in our society. And it starts with us. Every single one of us saying, hey, if you would like to be intimate with me, you're going to need to let me sleep. And then I'm going to wake up feeling like I'm ready to do things with you. But unless you get that sleep, your hormones are not going to respond. So it's not shocking that we struggle with orgasm. Because if we're just doing the things to please our partner and we're still sleep deprived and we're not completely all in it in the moment, we can't get there. Women's bodies are like diesel engines. They need time to warm up. Once they warm up, they can go forever. But you need time to warm up. It's as much mental as it is physical. And when your hormones aren't performing appropriately, it affects both sides of that equation, the physical and the mental emotional. So sleep really is a foundational element for female hormoned bodies. It is so deeply important because then if we spend all this time in this sleep deprived state, we start looking at our periods and going, what the hell is going on here? My cycle has shortened. I'm having 2 periods a month. Because you're still having the same number of stressors hit your system, but those little bites out of your sleep that you've been getting for months, years, add up over time. I love being able to go to bed with my husband. It makes me so darn happy to just snuggle into him and fall asleep with him at night, but he needs less sleep than me. He has to get up before I do in the morning. Otherwise, he's cranky because he feels like he's lost the whole day. That is very common for men. They need to get up in a shorter amount of time. But what we need to be an advocate for is ourselves and our sleep needs and our sleep hygiene. Things like a completely dark room. And if you can't get a dark room, and I'm talking like pitch total black kind of room. This could be blackout curtains. This could be putting a piece of tape over the smoke detector light that flashes, like complete black. And if that is hard to achieve in the room that you're in, get a sleep mask. I have a Sia Silk sleep mask, and God, that thing is just amazing. My sleep quality has changed in the most magical way with that sleep mask. And I'm still, at the time of this recording, getting up and having broken sleep with a nursing baby. And I'm waking up feeling more rested than I did before I got pregnant. So light does affect how your body is able to sleep restoratively. A sleep mask is an excellent way to go. Having a good practice for down regulation before bed. This could be reading a book. This could be qigong. This could be active stretching. This could be yin yoga. Sky's the limit. in terms of what you choose. This could be a foot bath to help with your chi being able to move appropriately in your body so that you're not going to bed with cold feet. Come up with a healthy routine to help you downregulate before bed. It's no different than having a routine to help a little person to go to bed. You need to have a routine too, because think about it. You've had so many more stressors coming over the bow all day long. Your nervous system needs time to decompress before you go to bed. Being on a blue light device is not it. Blue light disrupts your sleep. Red light is really what you should be seeing after sundown in order to be able to go to sleep. So come up with a really nice, healthy sleep routine so that when you go to sleep, you sleep as soundly as you possibly can, either between interruptions, if you are the one that has to get up at night, like I am right now. I'm obviously the only one that can breastfeed the baby. But all of the things that I do leading up to bed, I am out from the time I fall asleep until the baby wakes me up. I nurse the baby, I go back to sleep, and I am out until the next time he wakes me up. So, little things like that can help you survive and thrive in times that you aren't able to sleep through the entire 8 to 10-hour window. But I'm starting my day later to make up for some of that sleep deprivation. So when the baby sleeps in the morning, so he'll nurse and then he'll go back to sleep for a bit, I'll sleep until he wakes up. So I'm getting 9.5 hours of sleep, even though I have a break in the middle of it all, which that helps a lot. So a sleep mask, a routine before bed, reading, foot soaks, pelvic steaming, whatever it is that you would like to do before you go to bed. Red light can be helpful. Give yourself 2 hours with no blue light before you go to bed in order to help downregulate your system before you go to sleep. Start creating a ritual around your sleep habits, and I promise you, every other aspect of your life will start to pick up. Your libido will improve. Your mood will improve. Your brain fog will improve. Your ability to take on stressors during the day will improve. You really, really will feel so much better. And if every single one of us starts advocating for the importance of our sleep and the quality of our sleep, we will begin to change the narrative and normalize that women need more sleep. It is normal because of the container that we have grown up in to feel like we're being lazy or to feel shame or guilt or have a partner that makes us feel shame or guilt around laying in bed all day. But it's more than that. It's not just laying in bed all day. It's helping you to show up in the world in the best way possible and show up in all the ways that the world demands of you. See how that frame is different? If the world is demanding extra of you, you need the sleep in order to be able to meet that demand. And there is no shame in that. So start building some good practices around your sleep hygiene. Work on getting those 8 to 10 hours of sleep and send us a message in the Reproductive Rebel listeners group and let us know how these small changes are making an impact in your life.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Reproductive Rebel. Reproductive Rebel is recorded by certified peri-steam hydrotherapist and acutonics practitioner, herbalist, and Chinese nutritional therapist Adrienne Irizarry of Moon Essence LLC. If you are interested in setting up an appointment for one-on-one support, ordering from our store, or checking out our course offerings, visit our website at moonessence.life. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and get insider information on upcoming events and offerings. Join the conversation. Like and follow us at MoonEssenceMe on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Your voices make this program possible. Thank you all for your continued support.